We can't say thank you enough to our studio audience for joining us here for Delmarva Life. If you would like to join us, we would love to have you. It's very easy to do. All you have to do is go to delmarvalife.com, click on the show tab. Hey, Mom, Dad, if the kids are over 10, bring them with. Not only will we have fun in here, they'll get a tour of the Newsplex too. Now, if you don't have access to the web, there's a phone number right there you can call, 443-880-9116. Well, this afternoon, Brian is at the Discover Sea Shipwreck Museum in Fenwick Island.
Yeah, we heard how the museum came about and saw some of the items on display, but there are also a lot of stories inside that museum, and Brian's going to share one of those stories with us. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Lisa and Jimmy, there certainly are a lot of stories, and I'm back here with Dale Clifton, who is the owner of the museum. Dale, when people think of shipwrecks, they think of Florida or the Caribbean, but we actually have had quite a few here around Delmarva.
Yes, most of us do associate shipwrecks with the Caribbean, and people tend to forget that one of the largest ports of call in the early Americas was Philadelphia. And the only way to reach Philadelphia at a time when our waterways were our highways were up the Delaware and Chesapeake Bays. So this area was inundated with shipwrecks in those early years.
And we actually have one of the shipwrecks here. There's a display. Explain to us this ship and what happened to it.
Well, this is one of our local shipwrecks known as the Faithful Stewart. It sank in 1785 off of Indian River Inlet, and at the time of its sinking, it was carrying 249 Irish immigrants, along with 400 barrels of Irish and British halfpennies that it was bringing to the colonies as coinage. So over the years, this beach in front of this wreck site has been dubbed Coin Beach because of the amount of coins that do wash ashore after northeast storms.
So this is stuff that's washed ashore and stuff that you went down yourself
Yes,
and
yes.
got that's now here on display. So, and this is just one small example of all the different kind of stories that are throughout the entire museum.
That's correct.
Every
showcase has a story to tell.
Exactly, and you can tell it because you got all the items, so
Yes.
who knows better than you. There's a couple things we want to show here. First of all, which I found interesting, you showed me that when you do go down diving and you find items, a lot of them are covered in rock, or what would you kind of call this?
Well, these are encrusted objects.
Right, and this is what they look like, and then once you clean that out, then you find the coin in there. So
everything that's under the ocean will disintegrate to some point except for gold. Gold looks exactly like it did the day it went down, but everything else has to go through proper conservation to bring the artifacts out.
So you really have to have an eye for this and know that there's
Yes.
something in there that's worth going after. And speaking of gold, we have more gold. I'm loving this. Tell us briefly about this.
Well, this is from a fairly local wreck, but this particular bar was known as a two-finger bar, and the person who made this back in the 1600s literally pulled a line into the wet sand and used that indentation as a mold to pour the molten gold into. And every mark means something. There's the tax stamps, the purity marks, the owner's mark, and then where the king's assayer took his piece out to test it for its purity.
And how much is something like this worth?
Ones like this can go anywhere from $190 to about $300,000 depending on the bar. This one's in the upper range.
Can I keep it?
We'll have to talk about that later.
I thought I'd ask. So a lot of good information here, and I think the one thing that we cannot stress to people is that the museum is free. Everything in here you have uncovered yourself, and some amazing stories. I mean, Dale was telling me stories earlier, and I got chills listening to them, and especially about the Titanic and so many other things. So people should definitely come down, local or tourists, to visit.
Well, we hope that they all come and visit us, and we're open every day from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m.
All right, Dale, thank you very much. We really appreciate it.
My
This
pleasure.
has been a joy. Now, if you would like more information on the Discover Sea Shipwreck Museum, go to our website, delmarvalife.com, click on the show tab. We'll have all of the information there. And you know, Jimmy and Lisa, this is the point where I say to you, back to you in the studio, I'll see you later on, but I may not see you later on because I may skip town with this gold bar right here. So if you don't see me, you'll know I'm gone somewhere. Don't come looking for me.
Put the bar
back
down.
to you guys.
Put the bar down. He's not going to put the bar down.
He's not. Up next on Delmarva Life, an in-studio guest who is sure to leave you smiling.
Miles Savage with the Platters is here, why he's in town, and how you can catch the show.
But first, here's a look at what's coming up in the news on First at 5 on Fox 21 and later on WBOC News at 6.